From Clarkwoods.com, this is Horribly Off Topic, episode number 95. I am Chris.
And I am Steve, and we are thoroughly unprepared.
We are thoroughly as unprepared as a joke that Chris is preparing to mount from behind, which is, I mean, you know, you kind of need to be prepared for that.
Right.
You should be. I mean, I'm not saying that the joke is unwilling. I would never do that. I would never mount a joke unwillingly, but I think the joke is not as prepared.
I'm going to go off script here, and I'm going to ask you a question that you were not ready for.
I'm not ready for any questions.
I said we were thoroughly unprepared today.
Thoroughly unprepared.
So
no KY, no Astroglide.
As a college professor, like, how do you structure your lesson plans for your students? Is this a curveball? It's gonna go in.
That's a curveball. How do I structure
are there days where you wake up in like with a head ringing hangover?
There are days when I wake up in the morning and the alarm gives out a warning, and I don't think I'll ever make it on time.
No, the college years was standing on the edge of tomorrow, today.
That bit, we've done that bit now 2 weeks in a row.
Yes, good. No.
All right. Okay. So you're. I interrupted you. Yes, it's a curveball. Are there days that I'm unprepared? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Or well, is it you just wake up and then you because you drank so much Midori sours the night before?
Oh, so many.
And then
they're coming back out with Ecto Cooler.
Really?
In honor of, that happened this week. In honor of the Ghostbusters movie that everyone hates.
So I just saw
you're a dude. You saw the first one. You're supposed to hate it.
No, well,
you didn't
the thing
get
is,
the memo.
I just watched a bit that the Angry Video Game Nerd put out on the Ghostbusters.
Yes,
and like the fail sandwich that was going to be Ghostbusters 3. So like, you know, how it just kept on not getting made, right. And people, no one, it was like a movie a lot of people wanted to see, but a movie that nobody wanted to make, basically.
Right.
And so it got caught up in limbo a bunch of different times and whatever, and he just went through the history of that. But then, like, you know, this new one's going to come out, and he says he's not even going to see it.
Not even going to see it. Yep.
So I'm like, I don't know. I don't understand why people are so upset.
Yeah, it's I have friends who are so annoyed by people being upset. I have friends who are so annoyed by people being upset, including the Angry Video Game Nerd, that they're going to go see it twice just to piss all those people off.
I don't know. I'll go see it, but like I don't know. Like I have maybe.
I don't have.
Maybe if they were remaking Back to the Future, I'd be more upset.
Yeah.
Because
I don't have strong feelings about Ghostbusters.
I mean, that was one of the two movies, like two live action movies that I watched a shit ton when I was a kid. Back to the Future being one of them, and Ghostbusters being the other.
Yeah.
And you know, I was very excited when Ghostbusters 2 came out and Back to the Future 2 came out because like these were movies that I was like and so that's probably why as sequels, Back to the Future 2 and Ghostbusters 2, I really like them because I was still young enough to appreciate, you know, what was going on and whatever.
They were because you probably did you see both of those in the theaters?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, and that's what I think people just a little bit older than us. I know we're separated by 2 years, but like we can lump ourselves together for a second. Like people a little bit. I mean,
it's not that like we're that far apart.
But people just a couple years older than me, I don't think I don't think always get the sense because they saw the classic movies in the theater. We didn't see I didn't see Ghostbusters in the theater.
I didn't know. I saw it on we taped it off of HBO when I was a kid.
And I didn't see Back to the Future in the theater. But
and again, the same
Back to the Future 2. I don't know if I saw Ghostbusters 2 in the theater, but I definitely saw Back to the Future 2 in the theater.
I definitely saw it at the Route 3 Cinema.
And there's a thing about as a kid, like you got to see it on video, but the theater was a big thing, and so getting to go see those characters on the big screen for the first time, that's pretty huge.
Yeah.
And not just because the screen is tall. It's a pretty.
I think maybe the screen at the Route 3 Cinema was not much bigger than my current television.
might have been a wee bit better.
I know. I'm just fooling around, but you know, the
You
ease.
spend so much time staring at the floor trying to get your feet unstuck.
Yeah. Well, you didn't need to stare at the floor to do that.
Well, you know, you were like, what the hell is so adhesive? I mean, is it gum? I mean, later on you think, is it gum? I mean, like, you know, it's probably a bunch of stuff.
This isn't Tower News. This is the Route 3 cinema.
Oh, good old Tower News.
We're not talking about Tower News.
No.
But yeah, so you wouldn't be prepared.
I wouldn't be prepared. No, most of the time I'm prepared. Most of the time, if I'm going to teach throughout the week, I have looked at my lesson plans by like Sunday.
Do you have so because you teach the similar courses all the time?
Yeah.
So it's not like you have. I mean, you pretty much have it down of what you want to get to at a certain part of the semester.
Yeah. There aren't that many new ones, brand new courses that I teach, but so I've got the basic gist of everything down at this point, and it's about looking it over the weekend, usually the weekend before, and saying, did that suck the last time, and should I change it?
Well, here's the trick about that is that you. Just like with a stand-up, if it failed for one audience, that doesn't necessarily mean it'll be terrible for another audience.
Yeah, so it has to have really failed the last time or failed a couple of times in a row. But generally, if it's something that's failed a couple of times in a row, I'm dealing with that issue back at the stage of writing the syllabus at the over the summer or over winter break, when I'm going, that whole lesson sucks. I'm pulling that lesson and there's going to be a different one. So by the time I get to the weekend before any given lessons, I have put myself in a position to not have a ton of editing or whatever to do.
All right. Well, that's good. So you don't have to plan out a new lesson every weekend.
No, that is the nice thing of getting to teach the same courses over and over again.
But back to Ghostbusters.
Yes.
So when is it coming out? Is it soon?
It's soon. The second big trailer just came out this week.
Is it one of the big summer blockbusters?
I believe it is a big summer blockbuster.
Ballbuster.
Big summer ballbuster. All those ladies.
I don't remember. I think didn't Ghostbusters 2 come around during the holidays because it was set around New Year's.
Oh yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember.
It seems like
Hey Grace. Let's see if Grace can look it up for us while we talk.
Right, Jack Lemmon.
Yeah, I don't know. Did I sound like Jack Lemmon there?
No, but that was what you were doing, right?
Grace! Is that Jack Lemmon?
Yes, you're Jack Lemmon.
All right, thanks, Grace. Yeah, it was Jack Lemmon. I don't know. I guess I was doing Jack Lemmon. Here's the most confusing thing about the Ghostbusters is it's called
The Ghostbusters.
It's called Ghostbusters.
It's not Ghostbusters. I think that's what's angering the angry video game nerd is that it's not called Ghostbusters 3 or it's not called Ghostbusters Rebooted or Ghostbusters
just Ghostbusters
Extreme. Like they had a cartoon series that was different Ghostbusters, but
it's not even like Ghostbusters The Dark World or Ghostbusters Ragnarok.
Why don't we
or Ghostbusters Civil War?
Is it because are people upset because it's all ladies?
I think they're upset because it's all ladies. I get the sense that's the main thing. But I'm not 100% sure. June 16th, 1989 was Ghostbusters 2.
Oh, never mind then. I am completely wrong.
Was a summer movie. And the new one, 2016, July 15th.
July 15th. That's 2 months
15th.
away.
It's 2 months away, yeah. So 2 months for it to continue to anger all of the angry young white dudes.
I don't think James Rolfe is really young anymore.
No. Maybe I don't know why people. I mean, because see, and here's the thing. I get mad about the Transformers movies, so I don't know that I can call myself completely innocent.
Well, it's
of the same thing they're ruining my childhood. I know you tell me.
I think they're like the original cast. I think is involved with the film. That's what I've heard, at least.
Okay.
But they're not playing their roles.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Which makes no sense. Like,
is it because
what I think should
partially in Boston? Is it like with they a lot of New York purists out there who are just like, you can't film a fucking Ghostbusters movie in Boston?
Look at all the shitty things we did here in Boston over the years. There's probably ghosts galore.
Yeah, but no, I think it's filmed in Boston but set in New York.
Oh.
I think that I might be totally wrong.
Yeah, well, whatever. It doesn't matter. But okay, so the ladies thing, you guys need to fucking get over that. If they do a good job, then
Absolutely, I agree.
The title thing I could sort of understand. Don't call it Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Call it Ghostbusters : something else, or Ghostbusters.
Yeah, if you don't want to put a number in front of it, in the way that Marvel has stopped putting numbers in. I mean, not in front of it, after it.
After it, two Ghostbusters.
Two Ghostbusters.
There's actually 4 of them.
3 Thor. Yeah, I mean, if you want to get away from numbers, just do the colon and whatever comes after it.
Yeah, Ghostbusters Insurrection or Ghostbusters versus Predator.
I'm just going to say that shit pisses me off when I'm trying to categorize things in my iTunes or wherever, because I have to go in, and if it doesn't have a name, then iTunes, if it doesn't have a number in the name, then iTunes, as it's supposed to, categorizes things alphabetically. And so when my Star Wars shows up in my purchased history in iTunes, if I'm looking at movies I've purchased online, it's all over the fucking place because the numbers aren't included in the names anymore. It's just Star Wars : The Empire Strikes Back. And so like Star Wars : Attack of the Clones is the first one that shows up.
Oh, of course, the best one.
The absolute best one, yeah.
Which would be, is that number 2?
That is number 2.
Oh.
It's number 2 in more ways than one.
Well, I don't know. Episode 3 is pretty bad too.
So I have to ask, going back just a minute or two, I have to ask you, because I need to know whether or not I'm guilty of whether I'm partially guilty of being in the "they ruined my childhood" club. Because here's my Transformers situation. You got to pronounce me guilty or not guilty.
I wish Leo was here for. Did we talk about like the Transformers movies when we had him on last time?
Did we? I think we were going to save that.
You'll have to send us an email.
I think we're going to have to save that for the next time he's on.
Okay.
I think we've talked about
I think we talked about Transformers as a general concept, but I don't think we talked about the movies.
Yeah.
And because I know he really enjoyed the series as a kid and as an adult, but I think I forget where his feelings are.
Right. Well, I don't want to get too much into it, but I mean, I've already said that I don't like them. But here's how I approached the first one, because I think this is why maybe I'm not guilty, because I approached the first one with an open mind.
But maybe things like Michael Bay's Transformers and Michael Bay's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have put such a bad taste in our mouths for things that we grew up watching, and then we're like, oh, here's a
Dental
movie.
Dam, that'd help with that.
Here's these things that we really enjoyed as children, and here's a movie based on it, and it's just gonna be a bunch of explosions and bad jokes and all sparks.
And what's her name? For inexplicably like showing a bunch of cleavage and tying her t-shirt.
Megan Fox.
Yes. Have you seen that shot that they include in every TMNT trailer now?
Is it her twat hanging out?
No.
Like, I love using the word twat.
No,
I think it's 2 weeks in a row on that one, too.
But so they've done 2 trailers now, and in both trailers, they've made a point of having this shot where the camera lingers on...
Lingers
on Megan Fox walking toward camera. She's got kind of a half tee, but it's not a half tee. It's like she's wearing a button-down shirt that she has pulled up, untucked, and is tying kind of like above the belly button. And, most of the buttons are undone. So, there's cleavage spilling out. And it's like, what does that have to do with the story? It's just like at a specific moment in the movie, we have to remind you that, yes, there's a hot woman in here.
Well, what offends me the most is that she's not wearing like a yellow jumpsuit.
Yeah, yellow jumpsuit. That is pretty offensive.
And that, April O'Neil was never in.
I didn't see the first one, and I don't intend on seeing this one. I wonder if there's a possibility that there is a yellow jumpsuit in there somewhere for fan service.
Yeah, probably. It's like, Or maybe she looks at it like at a clothing store. It's like, who would wear this?
Yeah, Drax the Destroyer does that in Guardians of the Galaxy. There's something he looks at when he's trying to decide what to wear, and he tosses it aside. Something I think that looks more like what he would normally wear, and he decides to go shirtless because he's fucking Dave Bautista, and he's built like a Mack truck,
A brick shithouse.
a brick shithouse. That doesn't sound very pleasant.
Where
did that like? I mean, I imagine the smell gets trapped in the brick shithouse.
So maybe we can blame Michael Bay a little bit about like the anger of Ghostbusters,
the anger of
or maybe it is just that half the internet is whiny little
little
that just don't want to try something new. I mean, it's not like they didn't get like good actors, whatever.
Yeah. They've got good what looks like people who will give good performances.
Yeah, and I don't know, fucking just go to see it if you want to see it. Don't go to see it if you don't want to see it. I feel bad for Universal because it's become a big fucking stink pot. Yeah. Well, actually, I don't feel bad for Universal. Fuck them.
Fuck them. They make lots of
they make a lot of shitty movies and
yeah. I don't feel bad for any of the movie studio companies at all. Maybe the creators, the actors. I think certainly the actors did not sign up for this kind of backlash. Or maybe they did. Maybe they knew what they were getting into.
You should have seen what they were wearing.
Should have.
That's one thing I don't like. I don't like their outfits.
Their outfits.
There's like a line right
above the chest.
Yeah, their jumpsuits.
Collarbone.
Yeah, it was like this weird why there? And I'm like,
yeah,
from a wardrobe perspective, I'm like, could have just gone with something pretty similar.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get why there's such an uproar. I also don't get. I mean, I do get. I get why we have to keep remaking movies because the studios, just to stay in business, need to continue to churn out things that they are sure will put people in the seats. So we get no original things. And the thing is that I find myself not all that interested in original things. When I look at trailers and stuff like that, there's a lot of stuff that I'm just like, I don't know what that is. You haven't explained it to me.
But the thing, we have to rely on critics to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But ethics in movie journalism might not necessarily be there. I mean, we don't have a Roger Ebert to be a shining light.
Ethics in movie. Yeah.
I'm just trying to be an asshole. Success.
Success. There's a new Star Trek trailer came out the other day.
There's another Star Trek movie they're doing?
Third Star Trek movie.
Is it actually going to be a new movie or just a remake of The Search for Spock?
That's a good question. I don't know The Search for Spock well enough to know whether or not it's a remake, but considering that that when they switched things in Star Trek Into Darkness, Kirk was alive by the end of the movie, as opposed to having to search for him the entire.
They can't have a Star Trek movie without that dreamboat at the helm.
No. I'm not that interested in this Star Trek movie. It's by the director of the Fast and the Furious.
Too Fast, Too Furious, or all of them,
or just Fast and Furious. I don't know. Those movies, speak of fucking confusing titles. Because there's those movies are numbered like the fucking Xbox is numbered. I feel like there's there was
Xbox. There was Xbox
the Fast and the Furious, and then there's Fast and Furious, and then there's Fast 5, and Freddy got fucking fingered.
But I think the third one was Tokyo Drift. Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't give a shit about cars. I really the excitement over movies like that completely fucking bewilders me, and that those pieces of shit are as acclaimed as they are. I just don't get it. And people on the internet, when this Star Trek trailer came out the other day, were like, "Oh, it was so much better."
You pay attention to what people say on the internet too much. I only hardly ever go on my Twitter.
I live on the internet and have for a long time, and it's my problem. And if you'd like,
all
to,
I do
you
is just look up,
help me explain it.
Look up when the new One Piece chapter is going to come out, or.
I was just drinking before you said that.
Yeah, good.
I got to drink again. No, I don't know. People were all like, the general internet opinion was this trailer for Star Trek was better than the last one. And my opinion was this trailer made me want to see it even less than the last one did. And I think part of that is I could sense Star Trek Into Darkness was going to be a remake of Khan. And rather than hating on it, which a lot of my friends apparently did, that's the thing I was involved in the internet. We should talk about that in a second. Rather than hating on Into Darkness, what?
Oh, there's a thing on the internet where people aren't hating on things?
No. They were hating on a lot of things, but that's why I think it could be fun.
Okay, let's
for us
do
to
it.
talk about. Anyway, I didn't hate on Into Darkness because it was based on Wrath of Khan. I liked Into Darkness because it was based on Wrath of Khan, because there's only like 2 or 3 Star Trek stories I actually give a shit about.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you can't have a guy who's Khan that isn't Ricardo Montalban.
Maybe. Okay.
Like, that guy is just the best.
Sure. Benedict Cumberbatch, you're not a cumberbitch.
No, is that what they call themselves?
I don't know if that's what they call themselves, but it is a term I've bandied about.
Isn't he going to be Doctor Strange?
He is going to be Doctor Strange.
I don't know about him so much.
I like him as Doctor Strange. I think he's going to be all right.
else? What else is he? Like, superhero?
He was Sherlock.
He was Dr. Sherlock.
He was Dr. Sherlock and Mr. Holmes.
Oh. Wait, no, that was in the BBC series, right? Not the one where it was.
His Mr. Holmes was in Captain America: Civil War in a minor part.
Really?
Yeah. Everybody does Marvel movies eventually.
Well,
including Jeff fucking Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum was just announced as a member of the cast of the next Thor movie.
What?
Yeah, he's playing.
Is he playing some creepy guy that molests people?
He's playing. What the hell is his? He's playing. I think it's. Oh fuck! I don't want to get this wrong. He's playing a guy who may show up in one of the other movies based on what I read about him. He is somebody who at one point possessed an Infinity Stone in the comics, which are like the big MacGuffins of the whole Marvel cinematic universe. These are. I need.
Which stone?
Here we go. I don't know which stone it was in the comics, but the fact that they got Jeff Goldblum makes me think when they're putting together this Infinity War movie that they may want to bring Jeff Goldblum back. So they announced Cate Blanchett, who was already kind of announced she's going to be the villain. Jeff Goldblum is playing the Grand Master.
The Grand Master.
Grand Master. And Carl Urban of Star Trek and Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, he is also joining, along with Mark Ruffalo and Tessa Thompson and all sorts of fun stuff.
Mark Ruffalo likes being in these Marvel movies because he gets work.
He's the best. He's the best Hulk. He's the best Hulk, I think.
Well, at least
better than Ed Norton.
I don't know. I never saw the Ed Norton.
I like the Ed Norton one, but Ruffalo gets aspects of Banner that I think Norton didn't get. Ruffalo's got more humor to him. I mean, maybe it's because they keep putting him in scenes with Robert Downey Jr.
I really wish they'd throw like a scene of him walking slowly away, like down the highway.
Yeah, well, they did that with the Norton one. They actually used that theme song.
Oh, they did.
There's a clip where Norton.
Okay, well, that's the one I hadn't seen.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Sorry, spoilers.
Fuck you.
All right, so on Monday, getting back to the thing that I was saying, on Monday, a friend of
Come Monday, it'll be all right.
Sometime, not this week, but the previous week, a friend of mine had asked us over succeeding days to give our top 5 movies and then our second top 5 movies. So essentially like our top 10 movies. And then he said, come Monday, I'm going to ask everybody what their 5 most hated or like the movies they hate the most are. And this turned into the most epic Facebook thread I have ever seen.
Wow.
48 hours.
No, I'm just appalled by the term epic Facebook thread.
Facebook thread. There's our title.
There's the stupid title.
Epic. No, I'm sure we'll come up with something better.
Probably not.
Maybe not. But so people went on and on about their various, and there was lots of disagreement. By the time I chimed in sometime on Monday morning, I was very annoyed because some of the things people were throwing out as their most hated movies were movies I either didn't mind or actually really liked. but I want to put this to you because I've been talking for too
I don't
long.
know. Like, I can't off
You
the
can't
cuff.
think of a movie that you hate off the top of your head. I'm gonna have to dig up the thread and just get your reaction.
Yeah, we could do that because I can't like. There's hardly. I think there's one that I could think of, and I think it was called Whipped.
Whipped.
And
Okay.
it came out in like either the late 90s, early aughts, and
Yeah.
it was just bad. And it had
Who was in it?
I forget what the name of the actress is, but like she had her boobs out in the whole 9 yards. And so I'm like, she's pretty, and I want to see her boobs again, but she didn't show her boobs again in this other movie. So it was
oh goodness,
I think that's what it was, and I really don't like that movie.
Yeah.
And I think I remember dragging some folks to it, and they were very upset at me because we went to see that movie.
Who is that? Oh my goodness,
I forget the name of the actress.
Um,
She was also in Saving Silverman.
Yes, I mean I know exactly who you're talking about, but I cannot remember her name, and I'm trying to dig.
And I don't know where she went. I think Saving Silverman was the last thing I remember her in, and then poof.
Yeah, God, sorry, I'm trying to dig up this.
Booger.
I
can look up the other thing.
I'm trying to
have this part of the show.
There was somebody who hated all the Fast and the Furious. So there we go. Okay. So I could run down a few of them. There's 249 comments, so I'm not going to.
Wow, that's a lot of comments.
That's a lot of comments. 300. Do you have an opinion on that one?
It was weirdly homoerotic.
Weirdly.
So is this on any person's least favorite or
no? This is one of the most hated.
I mean, it has a lot of weird action.
Yeah,
and I like how they actually threw in some heterosexual sex into the film just to make it seem less gay.
I mean,
think
it's a nice prelude to Game of Thrones. You get to see Cersei's boobs. Speaking of, Star Trek Into Darkness. That was one that a lot of people,
really despised.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't hate it. I mean, but I also, really like Ricardo Montalban.
It's a Wonderful Life.
What?
I know. See, some of these are people trolling. Episode 2, The Hobbit. Do you have feelings on The Hobbit? On
which one?
Well, all three of them.
It was I think. I forget. I think it might have been Wait, Don't Tell Me. Had said, or one of their trivia questions was that it would take longer to read, it would take longer to watch all three movies than it would to read the book.
Yeah,
which is insane.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a criticism.
That is, I think, my criticism with it is that it's way too long.
Hook.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but I've never seen Hook.
Okay. Forrest Gump.
I mean, we've talked about this movie several times, and it has enough nostalgia for me that I will watch it if it's on. But like I said, it's one of those movies that reminds me how bad of an actor Gary Sinise is.
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
That is a piece of shit, and that deserves to be on that list.
E.T. This was somebody's like
when they remade E.T. to have all the FBI agents have walkie-talkies instead of guns. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe, but otherwise, I think it's a good movie. I've watched it many times as a youth, and not so many a times as an adult.
One of the sub threads going on in this conversation was people who had no soul, and after somebody said they didn't like E.T. That person was accused of having no soul. Titanic. Do you have a strong?
I've never seen it.
Okay. Patch Adams.
I think I've seen bits and pieces of it, and I don't think it's that bad that it needs to be on someone's most hated movies of all time list.
Anything Woody Allen has made.
What? And that's got to be another troll. But I mean, some of them are not. Well, none of them are necessarily movies for wide audiences. Yeah. But it's not like someone ever was forcing you to go see a Woody Allen film.
Yeah. The Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
I never saw it.
Frozen.
I've never seen it.
Now, see, that one was one of the ones that made me angry. Now, a lot of the snobs came out and they were all over how bad the song was and this and that and the other thing. And some of us came back and I was like,
but this makes my daughters very happy. So.
Yes, right. Like fuck all of you because my daughters like enjoy this. And I remember sitting there in the theater next to my wife and her sister, and the moment at which I don't want to spoil it, but it does not end. It does not end in the traditional way.
I think anybody that really wants to see Frozen has already seen it.
So the fact that it ends with sisters rescuing each other instead of a woman going off to rescue, like sacrificing herself for a dude, like that touched me. I'm sorry, you know.
What's going on?
Blair Witch Project.
No, that was The Little Mermaid.
No, did you have a strong feeling on the Blair Witch Project?
Oh, I thought you were like, that movie was hyped way better than it was.
Yeah, I agree.
It still was sort of scary, even though I saw it after, because like the whole thing was the whole marketing of it, because like this was like 90, it was 98, 99, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And so the internet was a thing finally.
It was.
Like an official thing that people...
Officially a thing.
It was a thing that most people had at that point, and then like would go and look for information on.
Yes, they weren't quite
and so like when this movie was going to come out, they they just put out these cryptic messages on the internet saying that this was a found footage film, and this, we just put it together, and we still don't know where these people or these filmmakers are.
Horse shit.
Yep. So like when that was still happening, and it was only playing at like the theater in Cambridge, and we tried to get tickets and couldn't, and we were just like, fuck.
Yeah.
We want to go see this movie. And then like, after a while it eventually gets a wide release.
Yeah.
And then when that happens, we realize that it's not a found footage. It's just a horror movie that was marketed insanely well.
Right.
But I don't despise it. I think they did a good job with their marketing, and they made a shit ton of money as a result. So good for them.
Good for them. Adam Sandler is getting shit on in this thread. X-Men.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Origins Wolverine. Fast and the Furious. Here's an interesting one. I remember this one. Any Harrison Ford movie between Air Force One and The Force Awakens. And I remember I had to go look this up, and I was like, I don't disagree with that. And then they actually split hairs about whether or not you would go even further back and think that Air Force One was. I was actually not a good
talking. Well, I wasn't talking about regarding Henry yesterday, but we were talking last night. We had some friends over, and he was just talking about how his in-laws have bought him a lot of Ritz crackers. Like so many so that he has. I think he had the count down to 41 sleeves. And then right before they were leaving, they were commenting on one of Becky's paintings.
Yeah.
And so I looked up, because you've never seen Regarding Henry, right?
No.
So I think we've talked about this before, which is, I think, one of those times when we say that you need to drink.
Right.
I think we've talked about this before.
No,
you don't personally have to drink, but I think the listener does. So Harrison Ford is a high-priced lawyer.
Yeah.
Goes out to the market to get something, gets shot in the head by John Leguizamo, has brain damage, and slowly regains the ability to speak.
Okay.
His first word after learning how to speak again is Ritz, because he was having an affair with another woman at the Ritz-Carlton. And that's why he remembers Ritz. And so like the people at the therapy center are like, Ritz, well, get this guy some crackers.
Oh.
So then he's obsessed with Ritz crackers.
Interesting.
When he's in his recovery, and he does a painting of the box of Ritz crackers. And I found a picture of him like just kind of standing like with the painting, and I sent it to him right before he left, and he's like, "What the fuck is this?"
Does he ever get revenge on John Leguizamo?
No, John Leguizamo never enters.
Not on my plane.
Yeah, no. He
get off my plane.
It's a more subdued role, and I think it was before Air Force One.
Yeah.
I don't know why I really like Regarding Henry. I might put it in my top 5 movies of all time.
Pearl Harbor. Did you like Pearl Harbor? Didn't see it.
I think I saw it on I think VHS at the time, and I don't remember liking it very much.
Do you have a strong feeling on M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong?
I haven't seen too many of his movies, and I've never seen what the I See Dead People one, which was his
spoilers.
His big. Well, that was in the fucking trailer, asshole.
Oh, that's right. No. That's not the spoiler. I forgot. I've tried to. Snowpiercer. Do you see that one?
No.
Garden State.
Yes. I don't hate it,
Okay.
but I understand why people are annoyed at Zach Braff's crap sometimes.
Avatar.
Never seen it.
Never seen it. Okay.
I avoid movies that I guess people will think I'll hate.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm doing an angry video game nerd. Where I'm avoiding a movie I know I'm not going to like.
Yeah. Anyway, there's quite a few of these. Somebody decided to shit on Finding Nemo. That was
as schmaltzy as it is. I did to a certain extent like that
I think I got wrapped up in the whole thing and agreed with someone about Finding Nemo not being as good, and then I thought about it more later and I was like, no, I actually think I like Finding Nemo.
As far as Pixar movies,
yeah,
I would put it on the lower end, of ones that I enjoyed. The Incredibles, I think, is one of the better ones.
I would agree. I think Incredibles, and it's so good that I think that's why it's taken them so long to figure out how to do a second one. And I think the second one is now on their schedule, but
I hope they have at least one F-bomb from Sam Jackson.
Where is my motherfucking super suit? Last one. I got to ask you this because this ties back into what we were talking about earlier with watching movies as kids. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Never saw it.
You never saw? How did you? Wait a minute. Okay.
I saw Robin Hood Men in Tights.
This is blowing my mind. How did you come over to our house during that period, I don't know, 1992, 1993, and not see Robin Hood? My father had the little black box that got us free pay-per-view. This is the point that I made when people started shitting on this movie on that Facebook thread. It's like, there are movies that came out between 1992, 1994 that I've seen 60 times. Not because I saw them all the way through, but I'd just come home in the afternoon after school, turn on whatever was on pay-per-view, and watch it until my parents came home. So I've seen Total
Well, maybe
Recall,
because John and I were playing Super Nintendo. Yeah, we were probably playing Super Nintendo in his bedroom while you were watching Robin Hood.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves,
and whacking it.
I was whacking it, or you were whacking it?
You were whacking it. We were going to whack it together.
To who? To Alan Rickman?
Yeah. Alan Rickman was in Robin
Alan
Hood?
Rickman was the sheriff of Nottingham.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh my God, you've got to see that. Hey, Kevin Costner doesn't even try to do a British accent.
And that's why in Men in Tights, it's unlike other Robin Hoods, I can speak with a British accent.
That's true. But it's a great, I don't know, because I saw it as a kid, I think it's a great fucking movie. It's in the same way that some people actually really hate Ghostbusters 2. Some people really hate Back to the Future 2. But
I don't really much like Back to the Future 3. But
Yeah,
I've never been so much of a fan of Westerns anyways.
Yeah. I don't know. I just know that when you see something at a formative time in your formative years, I think that has...
Formative.
That has a profound effect on you.
Well, that was a roundabout way of talking about...
Talking about what?
What the hell were we talking about?
What were we talking about? Bad movies, things that I...
Well,
because before the show, you were like, what happened to you this week? And not a lot had happened to me, but I forgot on Monday when I was home getting work done, I was checking in on this Facebook thread all day. And it was a pretty epic...
long.
Epic time.
All right. Well, we had a news story.
We did have a news story, and we had the fact that we're in the 95th episode, and we could talk about 1995.
We could, but we probably won't have enough time after the news story.
We had all sorts of things. Well, there was the news story.
That's why, I'm never concerned if we don't have a lot of things on the list before we start talking about the show.
Well, see, I get concerned. I get concerned.
Watch, now we won't have anything to say.
Now we don't have anything. No, because so we were concerned, and I went on to The Guardian, which is where I
which is a website.
It's a
for
website.
You kids.
It's a newspaper out of the UK, I think, or whatever. It's where I have gone because a lot of friends have told me about it as a kind of unbiased news source or unbiased.
There's no such thing.
I know. Yeah. But I was scrolling through looking for things we might talk about when I saw the headline, "Why isn't there a grinder for straight people?"
And which I said, like, Tinder.
Yeah, and so, but then I clicked on it, and the subheadline or the sort of description here is, "Tinder is not the straight grinder and never will be. So why are there not more venues for straight people to arrange casual sex? Moira Weigel investigates."
Okay, what does Moira Weigel find out about?
Okay, let's see.
About the internet.
Well, this is a feature article, so it's a bit long.
Is it just because straight people have been the focus of the internet for too long, and so it needs to be?
Mayhaps. Let's see. My friend, call him Henry.
I'll call him Hank.
Call him Hank. Does he like Ritz crackers?
Regarding Hank.
My friend, call him Hank, thinks that we should start at the Equinox Gym. But I don't have a membership, and another friend is insisting that we have to check out the Whole Foods on East Houston in Manhattan. I'm intrigued. It had never occurred to me that a grocery store would make a prime pickup spot at 6 p.m. on a Friday. But the place is crowded. Who knows who's in here? The checkout line snakes around the stacked 24 packs of organic beer almost to the door. I am 95% sure that the willowy blonde hanging under her poncho while waiting to pay for her vegetables is Taylor Schilling, the star of Orange is the New Black. I can't resist following her out, so I am standing on the corner playing on Tinder when Henry calls my name from across 2nd Avenue.
Hank. What does Hank say, Chris?
By playing, I do mean playing. I have been happily married for a year and a half, and I'm not looking for dates, just subjects to chat with. My editor asks me to write a piece on what seems to be a perennial question. Why isn't there a Grindr, parentheses, a dating app for gay men with a reputation for facilitating quick hookups, for straight people? In other words, why, after decades of feminism and sexual revolution, at a time when new HIV infection rates have fallen in the United States and contraception and abortion are legally available, at least for now, are there not more venues for straight people to have no strings attached sex? Why don't more straight couples want it?
I don't know, Chris. Tell me more.
I've heard the question many times before, and I've disliked every answer. Most of them seem to boil down to stereotypes. They go something like, gay men are promiscuous, straight women are frigid. Heterosexuality always has been and always will be a sad compromise between men who want to get as much sex for as little affection as women can wheedle out of them, etc. I think these stereotypes are both unkind and untrue. I wanted to see whether I could come up with something better. Henry, we're back to Hank. Hank arrives, and we cook up an experiment to try and answer my editor's question. I reactivate my Tinder account. He gets on Grindr. We spend a night hopping from bar to bar together and see what kinds of romantic or sexual prospects each of these apps presents us. I tell anyone I match with that I'm in this for research as soon as meeting IRL comes up. Hey, we're all on here for something, one 28-year-old replies without missing a beat. But I still fret about the ethics of it, because Tinder simply draws photos from Facebook. My husband is in most of mine. I didn't know Tinder, obviously, because I've been married for forever. I didn't know Tinder drew from your Facebook photos. That seems to me not a great way to...
Yeah, why can't you just upload photos?
If Tinder attaches to if the whole idea is a quick hookup, then attaching to Facebook is not the way to have that happen.
Well, that and the fact that it's attached to, I don't know, that takes a lot of the anonymity out of it.
Yeah.
If it's, a significant amount of the anonymity out of it.
Yeah.
Because if it's actually attached to your Facebook, which you're showing as yourself, then I don't know. It all seemed really weird and sketchy to me when I was when I was looking, and so I never really ever did it.
Yeah.
That and the fact that the Facebook that I had is now gone.
Yeah. All right. Let's get back to Henry. He's going to come back here in a second. Hank is going to come back here in a second. My initial hypothesis is that Tinder is the grinder for straight people. Of the different apps that tried to corner the market circa 2010, Tinder certainly seems to have been the most successful. However, Henry, who uses both, is skeptical of the idea that the two apps are comparable.
So is he bi or something?
I don't know. Quote, Grindr has an immediacy that Tinder doesn't. Grindr shows you only people who have logged in the past hour, and you can see whether they are online at the moment. That immediacy makes hookups much more possible than I think Tinder does, unquote. Which is a good point. Like, well, if you want a quick hookup, you want to know who's actually also using the fucking app right now.
Well, yeah, that and the fact, like, you know, when I was on a dating site, like, I would only really look for people who had been on the site in like the last week or two, because if they're not going to be on the site to check their messages, then what's the point of messaging them in the first place?
Yeah.
Because like I would, as much as like my messages were very stock when I would send them out, if the chance is there that they're never going to read it, then what's the point?
I wonder if this kind of app had been around in 1995 when I...
What, Grindr?
I wonder if this kind of thing had been around in 1995 when I first went off to college, if I would have had more sex, if I would have had more hookups. I remember the kid that I was going off to college was not that dissimilar from the kid who was in high school, who had absolutely no idea what he was doing, and was so nervous to tell somebody that I was interested in them there in the fall of 95 that when she finally found out, she was just like so creeped out by my interest that we didn't talk for like 2 or 3 weeks.
I want to know about this.
You want to know about that?
I want to know about that story. Tell me a story, Chris.
Oh gosh! So we met at this person.
So this is like, this is 17-year-old Chris.
17-year-old Chris. This person is still a friend of mine today. 17-year-old Chris meets this person. I need to give her a name, don't I?
Let's just call her Susan, like Gary Sinise's wife. In
my mother's name is Susan. I'd rather not use. Let's say Marge.
Marge Simpson?
Like Marge Simpson.
All right,
you got a bunch of fucking Simpsons DVDs over there.
Or how about Lois?
Lois. I don't know. Marge, Lois, which one do you...
Let's go Marge.
Marge. All right.
Marjorie.
So Marge and I got to remember that it's Marge. Marge and
don't
I...
accidentally say her real name.
No, don't say her
then
real
you'll have to beep it.
Marge and I meet at orientation for college somewhere in the summer of 1995. Of course, why?
So you didn't know this person in high school?
I did not know this person in high school.
Okay.
So we met somewhere in the summer, and this person was insanely cool, way cooler than anybody that I knew, and was willing to talk to me. And I was like, okay, this is a female person who is cool and willing to talk to me. And when did this happen? It took me either, I don't know, if you count kindergarten, it took me like 13 years to get comfortable talking to
the ladies.
To the ladies. That's not true. In kindergarten, like first grade, I went to more girls' birthday parties than I went to boys' birthday parties. But then somewhere
we all know why that is.
But then somewhere there in late elementary school, middle school, it stopped happening. Anyway, I met Marge, and she was cool, and I wanted to hang. Marge.
What was her hair like?
It was. It's really tall. It's blue. No, wait, is her
blue hair? Wow, it's very, very anime.
Is Marge's hair blue?
Yes, it's blue.
Okay.
How long has it been since you watched The Simpsons?
It's been a long time since I watched The Simpsons. And anyway, so we hung out a lot, and by the time then we went, I think orientation was a weekend, was like an overnight, and we and a couple of friends went off and explored the area and got...
And you were hoping to explore each other's bodies.
Explore each other's areas. This is area. There was an opening right there.
Oh, you didn't do that though, did you?
No, I didn't do the opening. I just was talking about this. If there'd been like Grindr or something...
I know, yeah. If you were on Grindr, you would have been like...
I mean, Tinder.
I can't wait to find all the men.
This story is not going to go anywhere.
I want to hear the rest of the goddamn story.
So we came back to college.
And so does our audience.
We came
they
back.
They are weighted with bated breath.
They're weighted with bated breath.
Weighted with bated breath.
Weighted with bated.
Weighted. WEAGHTED.
Yes.
Weighted.
All right. So we came back, and I'm trying to think like what's relevant to the story. So I moved into the
dorms.
I moved into the chemical-free cluster house. This cluster houses were these townhouses at the back end of campus. Chemical-free. Yes, I specifically requested to be in the drug and alcohol-free house.
Boo!
I did. There's stories about that too.
Were you straight edge back then?
No, I don't know. I was a good little boy. I was
You weren't a boy.
I was 17.
You were a man.
I was 17. I wouldn't turn 18.
I'm a man, baby.
6 or 7 weeks into school. Anyway, and then so we started hanging out again. Me and Marge, and except Marge was a drinker and a smoker.
So she didn't want to go towards your weird chemical-free zone.
No. I mean, she. Plenty of people in my house actually completely disregarded the fact that our house so disregarded the fact that it was supposed to be chemical-free that I came up with the hilarious joke that we were cluster G, where all the chems are free.
What?
That all the chemicals were.
No,
free.
I got it.
My roommate once brought a bottle of Sunny D back from the grocery store, put it in the fridge upstairs, and then like an hour later when he went to go get it, found that the bottle was gone and there was a bottle of vodka in its place.
Oh.
He was not pleased because I think he also had now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I did not specifically ask to be in the chemical-free cluster, but I think he did. And so I didn't care so much.
Oh, okay. So he was upset because all there was purple stuff left to drink.
Why did you want to tell?
I love it when you tell stories from college.
I wish it were more interesting. So she and I started hanging out.
We got to that part.
We were in acting class together. I would.
Did you ever have to do like an intimate scene?
We did not have to do an intimate scene. Okay. We did at one point. I don't know if this was during the summer or if it was when we came back to school. We were sitting in a common room, and I got to fall asleep on her lap.
Oh.
She was like stroking my hair. It was all cute.
Oh, that's just great.
And I was
all right. So
it was all good.
Becky really liked it.
Oh yeah. Well, it was very. I mean, this is. I don't know. I'd had one. This is really pathetic. I had one girlfriend by this point that I had actually kissed.
That's fine, dude. I'm not judging you on that part.
Very little aside from like 3 or 4 nights of hanging out and making out with that one person. Had no affection. So when somebody lets you fall asleep on their lap and is stroking your hair, you're like, I love this person forever. And she was just friendly. And I didn't get that. And I didn't get that I was going to have a lot more friendships like that over the course of college, because I went to this free sort of hippie friggin' small school. And
it was free?
Free as in free, open.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
So basically the lesson, if anybody's a young person listening to this show,
mm-hmm.
If you are interested in someone, ask them out.
Make it clear, because
make it clear. And then, if the other person also makes it clear at that initial phase that they aren't interested that way,
right,
then maybe
you
can learn from us old people's dumb mistakes, or you could just go on Grindr or Tinder or whatever.
Right, because if we'd had Tinder or whatever, I would have been able to open my phone, she would have opened her phone, and we would have been able to find out if the other, rather than talking to each other.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, is I was uncomfortable talking with people. So if there were expressing my feelings, so if there were an app that just said, hey, I'm looking to hook up with you. I'm looking to hook up. Oh, we didn't have to talk to determine that.
So maybe technology
maybe
technology is bad then, because that also isn't helping.
Wouldn't have been bad
with people
for me.
Communicating with each other. It's not helping people learn how to talk to each other.
So
we need more communication courses.
So to get back to what I was talking about when I was saying that Facebook thread I was involved in, like, I'm friends with a lot of those people. I became better friends with them because I initially met them, was really awkward. They're like, but not awkward enough that they didn't want to be friends with me. Like, oh, let's meet them on Facebook. And then because I could talk to them on Facebook or because I could talk to them on Twitter, we would find out in an environment where I was more willing to open up. I think there has to be a combination is what I'm saying. So like those people that I've met on Facebook and involved at like that 250 post thing on bad movies, I wouldn't be friends with them in a time before technology because I would have just been too...
What about in a land before time?
I don't know. What dinosaur would I be? That's the land before time, right?
Megasaurus.
Megasaurus. Oh, going all the way back to the beginning because I was unprepared.
Yes.
No,
it was going all the way back to the beginning.
That was unprepared. I forgot.
No, but that was the punchline to a joke, or what do you call it, a gay dinosaur?
Because I would be on Grindr. Thanks, Steve.
Are we almost done?
We're pretty much done. We got like 3 or 4 minutes left.
Okay, good.
But I don't think I don't think Hank or his friend here
with his Ritz crackers.
They don't think they. Oh my God, this is a long article.
Yeah, but you picked the
I was just intrigued by the headline.
Clickbait.
Yeah. That I could read. Yeah, no. It seems like it's interesting. The whole piece.
It seems like it's interesting.
Seems like it's interesting.
Yeah, why don't you just go on to The Guardian and read it there, folks, and then maybe you can give us a synopsis and see where they actually came to a conclusion instead of Chris reading it live on the air.
Yeah, which is always good. You know, I have a great voice for that kind of thing.
You do.
Yeah. 95.
1995. Maybe we'll talk about it next time when it's 1990 or episode 96.
96. I don't know if I'll try to think of something that happened in 1996.
Besides the things that we were just talking about.
Besides the thing we were just talking about. Yeah. Maybe.
Oh, wait. So, like, you when you eventually did tell her.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I think, she continued to be very friendly and what I thought of as flirty. And I didn't know what to do. But she was not at all interested. But I was very awkward about telling her. And then she was just like, I didn't mean to lead you on in that way. So we stopped talking for a couple weeks.
Well, at least it was just a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But like the trick is, like, if you had just early on just been like, hey, do you want to go on a date sometime or something like that? Or just use that phrasing.
But I wonder if I would still be friends with the person if I hadn't. I don't know. I don't know what would have happened. But what was troubling for me was not that we stopped talking for a couple weeks. What was troubling for me is that this is a pattern. Like this happened to me time and time again, late high school and then into in the first couple of years of college. That I would like crush on somebody really, really hard and like not tell them. And not tell them. And then when I finally told them, they were so weirded out because I would tell them in a note, or I would there's somebody I told.
I just want to bang my head against the wall.
Somebody I told in high school with a letter. Like, actually,
I can't say that I've never done that. So
yeah. I think an app.
Kids these days, kids, don't write notes. Just talk to a person. Grab your scrotum or your vag and like and just go and fucking say whatever it is you feel, or or just ask somebody you like out or you care about out as a date. Make it very explicit that this is a date. If they're not interested in that, then fucking get over it if you want to be their friend. And if you could live without this person in your life, then fucking do it. That's relationship advice. I'm Dr. Steve with your relationship advice.
You stole my joke. I was like, this is Dr. Phil thing. Dr. Phil, when he retires,
But nobody that's listening to this show is young.
Nobody. Yeah. No.
At least I don't think so. They're at least a couple years younger to a couple years older than us.
Right? Is age in the mind? Is that
age is the mind? What is it?
Is the mind meld?
Fart is the mind killer.
Fart.
Oh wait, no, fear.
You can find the show notes for this episode at clarkwoods.com/hot/95.
Yes.
95. And if you'd like to comment on Steve's love advice or anything else that we've got wrong in this episode, not that your love advice was
My love
wrong.
advice was good.
If you'd like to comment on anything we've said in this episode, how about that? That's fair. You can
And how
send
wrong
us,
we or right we may or may not be.
You can send us an email to hot@clarkwoods.com.
Yes.
And you can find us on
You can find Chris on Twitter at ECC1977.
and you can find Steve on the Twitter at OPT Spam.
No, that's the other one. Wrong one.
You can find Steve on Twitter at Tuesday is Luther. Why is my tongue tied? I haven't been drinking anything but water.
Yeah.
At Tuesday is Loser. That's Tuesday, IS Loser.
All one word.
All one word. All one word. We didn't come up with a better episode title than that first one, did we?
So I guess that's the one.
All right. Well, there's always next time.
There is always next time. There's always tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
And we could sing a song about it, but I'm not going to because that would be terrible.